You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, we're going to talk about Chicago Sky rookie phenom, Angel Reese. Of course, she plays forward, and she started her new podcast yesterday, Unapologetically Angel, which is kind of interesting considering what she is implying or laying out or insinuating here, and there's really no insinuation. She seems to believe she is a victim. Here we go. We're a victim of racism and that people have made death threats on her, I guess. And what I find rather interesting is she's saying it's Caitlin Clark fans or fans of Caitlin Clark. And I'm like, wow, that feels like, I don't know. Let's put it this way. When I hear that, I think Jussie Smollett and Bubba Wallace. That's right. Two people that have been found to have perpetrated a race hoax. All right. And I have no doubt she has gotten some very ugly messages, I'm sure. And she may have even gotten some racist messages. Okay. Well, I myself have gotten more than a few death threats. Man, a couple of years ago when I was covering the Black Militia on Black and White Network, hell, my inbox filled up with death threats, all right? You put yourself in the public eye, you do controversial things. Unfortunately, the worst people on the planet are going to come out, all right? But do I believe that's indicative of Caitlin Clark's fan base? Hell no, I don't. I don't. And my other thing is, and I'm going to be honest, I'm going to keep it real here. If she really got these death threats, she really got all this racial hate, right? I'm sure she turned it over to the authorities. And I'm sure she's got plenty of proof to be able to show somebody. And look, I'm not talking about 2 messages. I'm talking about 50 or 100. All right? Or you know, I mean, seriously. And even out of that, we're talking out of millions upon millions of fans. Very interesting to sort of label people that way. We'll take a look at the clip where she says this, but keep in mind, this was, of course, the incident with Kennedy Carter, Angel Reese's teammate, all right, where she gave Caitlin Clark the forearm shiver, slammed into the side of her, and called her a bitch, right? Well, it wasn't long after that, Angel Reese was running her mouth about she was willing to play the villain role, right? Well, how about this? Dave Portnoy, and we all saw this clip, Angel Reese actually celebrating said move by Kennedy Carter on Caitlin Clark. Well, I mean, if you think people are going to love that, they're not at all. Yikes, I didn't realize she was that jealous of her. Terrible. Kimberly Klisak is, by the way, black. She's I believe she's a congresswoman. Yep, congressional, Maryland. Seriously. And then you had the clothesline from hell on Caitlin Clark from Angel Reese during one of their games. Right there. Clocked her right in the side of the head. She didn't walk over there to try to help her up or anything of that nature. I mean, let's be real. It was a dirty shot. All right? It was a dirty shot. You see it right there. He didn't. We'll see it in boom. Stop it. Stop it. All right? So keep those moves in mind as we get ready to watch this clip right here.
Reese, people often mention Caitlin Clark. You've said in interviews there's no beef, but the media keeps going on. So how do you feel about that situation?
Caitlin is an amazing player, and I've always thought she was an amazing player. We've been playing each other since high school. So I think it's really just the fans, her fans, the Iowa fans, now the Indiana fans that are like, they ride for her. And I respect that respectfully, but sometimes it's very disrespectful. I think there's a lot of racism when it comes to it, and I don't believe she stands on any of that. But when it comes to death threats, like I'm talking about people have come down to my address, follow me home. Like it's come down to that. Multiple occasions, people have made AI pictures of me like naked, literally.
Really?
They have sent it to my family members. My family members are like, uncles are sending it to me like,
no.
Are you naked on Instagram? It sucks to see that, and it's really hard that I have to go through that, and now seeing other players even having to go through that. But like, at the end of the day, it's a game that we do both love, but there is no hate.
Okay, so that's from her podcast. Now, let me be the first to say, look, none of that is acceptable. It's not. All right? But do I think it's fair to come out and say, she said Iowa fans, Indiana fans. So if 1 out of 10,000 says something that's, you're going to, that's an all-inclusive bubble she decided to throw out there and put people into, and I'm just not sure it's a fair thing to say. Obviously, nobody should be doing the AI stuff, but unfortunately, that's something, this is the time we're living in, and I don't like it either, all right? I don't. Nobody should be giving her death threats or any of that. But I also think it's not fair to lump her fan base in with whatever. Look, I like to have a saying online, make asylums great again. There are some mentally deranged people out there, plain and simple. And also, I'm sure she's got full receipts for all of this and is going to be willing to show everybody at some point all these many, many, many things that have been said to her or done towards her, right? And I'm saying that rather sarcastically because I can tell you a lot of people don't believe her right now. Plain and simple. They don't believe her. And I'm going to tell you, I'm pretty skeptical of some things here too. All right? Why do they keep trying to divide people among race? In other words, look, if I throw this stuff out there, then maybe people will quit criticizing me. All I have ever seen from any Caitlin Clark fans is things involving her play on the court and the fact that her play on the court is nowhere close to Caitlin Clark's. All right? As she would say, well, that's a basketball play. Well, that's a basketball opinion. Right? And yeah, a lot of people make jokes and they say things. But I have seen, I'm going to be real, I've seen nothing to do with her race other than the fact that people have called her out for being racist against whites. I have seen that. I can tell you that right now. Why do they keep trying to divide people among race? How about they're both good players and just give their best effort and be competitive with each other? Who is following her home? She can't even beg for a layup off a backboard. I mean, seriously, the only racism I've seen from the Reese is from the Reese fan base. I'm not going to lie. That's the only place I've seen it. I'm being real. Remember, when they accuse you of something, it is because they are guilty of it. Interesting. These children today have no clue what racism is. This is ridiculous, and she's just mad that she isn't Cece. This is interesting. I hope there are no threats to anyone, but I must say Cece has not been welcomed nicely to the WNBA at all. It's been very ugly and very vindictive, and everybody's noticed it. And Cece is delivering on her hype. These women right here have the power to change this. How about they work harder to be a united force with Cece and grow the WNBA like true role models? Good luck. I didn't hear anything about race. She said racist things, death threats. Smollett Jr. Seriously, always the race card. Totally disturbing, makes my stomach turn. Hope she fails now. Why not just play ball? Unknown. People, I call BS. I think that's interesting. A lot of people are not paying attention to this. I remember when she tried to fake a violent encounter at the beginning of the season, just shut up and ball or rebound, whatever it is. No one would know who she is if it wasn't for Caitlin Clark. Fake. I mean, I'm going to tell you, the irony. Yeah, a lot of people were saying this is pot calling the kettle black at this point. I'm sure I'll probably be called a racist for that. Another victim, she's insufferable. I mean, what is going on? She is a liar. She has proven by her actions there is beef, and it's her that has the beef with Clark because she knows Clark is a superior player compared to her, and she is the reason the WNBA is gaining more popularity. I call bullshit. Like I said, and guys, trust me, we can keep going here. I've seen much more racism from Caitlin Clark haters. I agree. Those threats are from lunatics and probably left-wingers trying to make it seem like they're Clark fans. Reese is a good player. Once she works on her offense a bit, she's really going to be good. Great rebounder. Aja's the MVP. CeCe's the Rookie of the Year. It's not a race thing. It's a stats thing. And I'm going to tell you, like I said, a lot of people are just not buying this. They're not. It feels a lot like, let me divert the attention here. Maybe I will stop taking heat for my play on the court. And, you know, and I'm not saying there hasn't been outlier issues. But to lump the whole fan base together like that, I think that's unfair too. Seriously, I do. So, of course, nobody should give anybody death threats and this and that and the other. But if you're in the public atmosphere, like I said, shit, I've gotten several back in the day. I'm sure I still get some now. But I don't check my spam folder anymore. Let's put it like that. Tell me what you think, black and white sports supporters. Peace, I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.